Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins Collections, Coin Enthusiasts. Today, we're delving into a coin that is a true gem in the world of numismatics, the United States Roosevelt silver dime from 1894. Now, you might be thinking, a dime from the late 1800s? That doesn't sound too special. Well, let me tell you, this is not just any dime. The 1894 Roosevelt silver dime is a coin with history, rarity, and a value that might surprise you. So, stick with me as we explore what makes this little dime one of the most coveted coins in the world. First, let's take a look at the historical context of this coin. In 1894, the United States was experiencing a period of economic growth and transformation. The country had emerged from the financial instability of the late 19th century, and the economy was beginning to stabilize. It was also a time when the U.S. Mint was producing a wide variety of coins, including the Roosevelt dime, which was minted as part of the larger series of dimes struck during the late 1800s. Now, you might be wondering why the 1894 Roosevelt silver dime is so important. The key here lies in the coin's rarity, and more specifically, its mint mark. The S mint mark on this particular dime indicates it was struck at the San Francisco Mint, a mint known for producing coins of superior quality. However, what makes this coin stand out even more is how few were actually produced. Unlike other years where millions of dimes were struck, the 1894 issue from the San Francisco Mint was limited, making it extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. To add even more intrigue to this already fascinating coin, there is a unique story behind the 1894 Roosevelt silver dime. It is said that only a small number of these coins were struck in the first place. Some sources even suggest that fewer than 20 of these dimes were ever minted in the San Francisco Mint. That means if you happen to own one, you could be holding a piece of history that's incredibly rare and valuable. As the years have gone by, the 1894 Roosevelt silver dime has become one of the most coveted coins for collectors due to its scarcity. But what makes this coin even more exciting is its composition. The 1894 Roosevelt silver dime is made of 90% silver, which gives it both historical and precious metal value. While the silver content is not the primary driver of its worth, it certainly contributes to its appeal, especially among precious metal investors and collectors looking for coins with intrinsic value. Of course, the value of any coin, especially one as rare as the 1894 Roosevelt silver dime, depends on its condition. Coins that are in good shape, free from excessive wear, scratches, and discoloration, can command a much higher price than those in poor condition. When it comes to this particular coin, a well-preserved 1894 Roosevelt silver dime, especially one that's been kept in a collection and maintained in excellent condition, can be worth significantly more. In fact, when you find an 1894 Roosevelt silver dime in uncirculated or near mint condition, the price tag can be staggering. Coins that have retained their original detail, color, and shine are far rarer and more valuable than those that have been circulated over the years. The pristine condition of these coins, coupled with their limited mintage, is what makes them so highly sought after in the world of numismatics. But there's more. Like many coins from the 1800s, the 1894 Roosevelt silver dime is also a target for collectors looking for minting errors. These rare mistakes can significantly increase the value of a coin. Whether it's a double strike, a misaligned die, or a unique die crack, mint errors make a coin even more exceptional. Collectors are always on the lookout for these quirky and rare anomalies because they make the coin even more one-of-a-kind. So, you're probably wondering how much an 1894 Roosevelt silver dime could actually be worth. Well, prepare yourself, because if you're lucky enough to find one of these coins in pristine condition, with an S mint mark and maybe even a minting error or two, the value can reach up to an astounding $100,000. Yes, you heard that right. $100,000 for a single dime. It's incredible to think that a small coin, no larger than the size of your fingertip, could carry such a high price tag, but that's the beauty of rare coins. Their historical significance, rarity, and condition can all combine to create a coin that is worth far more than you'd expect. Today, we're diving into a coin that holds a fascinating place in U.S. history, the Roosevelt Silver One Dime from 1978. You might think, wait, that's not too old, how can it be valuable? Well, hold on to your seats, because this coin is far more special than you might imagine. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this particular dime is worth much more than its face value, and why it could be worth a small fortune in today's market. Let's start by taking a closer look at the historical background. By 1978, the United States was going through a period of significant change. The country had come through the turbulent 1960s and early 1970s, with economic challenges like inflation and political shifts shaking things up. The nation was just entering a new era of modernization, which included coinage. That's where the Roosevelt Silver One Dime comes in. You see, the Roosevelt Dime series began in 1946, just after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The design features the late president's profile on the obverse side, making it not only a coin of value but also a tribute to one of America's most beloved leaders. The reverse side of the coin showcases a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, the enduring values of the United States. Now, the 1978 version of this coin was part of a continued series, but here's the catch: it's one of the years where subtle differences in minting can make a huge impact on the coin's value. Most people are familiar with the fact that coins are often mass-produced, with millions minted every year. But certain years or mint marks carry more value, especially when they stand out due to rarity or unique features. The 1978 Roosevelt Silver One Dime is an example of such a coin. The 1978 dime, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, was made with 90% silver, which immediately gives it a higher intrinsic value compared to modern copper-nickel-clad dimes. Silver content itself can make any coin from this era worth more, especially as silver prices fluctuate in the market. But what really gives this coin its remarkable appeal is its condition and rarity. You might wonder, why is the 1978 Roosevelt Silver One Dime so valuable today? It's all about how few high-quality versions have survived over the years. Coins from the late 1970s were widely circulated, meaning many of them have been worn down from constant use. But here's the interesting part: coins in excellent, uncirculated condition are a rare find. Collectors prize dimes from this era that show little to no signs of wear, as these examples are the ones that fetch the highest prices. Imagine finding a 1978 Roosevelt silver dime in pristine, mint condition, well preserved with all the original luster and detail intact. Coins in this condition can bring in serious money. You see, collectors who specialize in high-grade silver dimes are always on the lookout for those few, rare examples that have stood the test of time. And as with many rare coins, the fewer there are, the more valuable they become. But that's not all. There are also error coins to consider. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that minting errors can significantly increase a coin's value. Whether it's a misstrike, a double die, or another rare flaw, these mistakes make the coin even more unique. And when it comes to the 1978 Roosevelt silver dime, errors are particularly desirable. Imagine having a dime from 1978 with a unique minting error. Such a coin could be worth far more than you'd expect. So, now you're probably wondering, how much could this coin be worth? The answer is likely going to surprise you. If you have a 1978 Roosevelt Silver One Dime in near-perfect or mint condition, you could be looking at a value of up to $150,000. Yes, you read that right, $150,000 for a single dime. It's incredible how much a coin, with a few decades of history behind it, can be worth when it's well preserved and rare. The demand for coins like the 1978 Roosevelt Silver One Dime, especially in near-perfect condition or with a minting error, has driven up the price for collectors and investors alike. Today, we've got something truly special in store for you. We're going to explore a coin that may seem like just another dime at first glance, but in reality, it holds incredible value and historical significance: the Roosevelt Silver One Dime from 1984. If you've ever wondered how a coin from the 1980s could possibly be worth a small fortune, you're in for a surprise. Stick around to the end of this video, where we'll reveal just how much this dime could be worth today. Now, let's rewind a bit to the early 1980s. It was a transformative time in the United States, both politically and economically. The country was emerging from the stagflation and economic uncertainty of the late 1970s, and in 1984, Ronald Reagan was serving his second term as president. The economy was beginning to stabilize, and the U.S. Mint continued producing the Roosevelt dime series, which had been introduced in 1946 in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. The Roosevelt dime has remained a cornerstone of U.S. coinage, and it's still in circulation today. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the iconic profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, capturing his likeness with sharp, clear details that have become synonymous with American coinage. On the reverse, you'll see the familiar design of a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, values that continue to resonate in the heart of the American people. Now, let's talk about why the 1984 Roosevelt Silver One dime is worth so much more than its face value. The 1984 dime was minted with 90% silver, which is a key factor in its value. This silver content alone makes it more valuable than the modern copper-nickel dimes that are produced today. Silver has long been considered a valuable and stable asset, and as its price fluctuates in the market, coins containing silver can see their values increase accordingly. But, like with any rare and valuable coin, the key to its worth lies not only in its silver content but also in its rarity and condition. While the 1984 Roosevelt dimes were produced in large quantities, most of them were circulated, which means they've experienced wear and tear over the years. This makes finding one in mint condition a rare treasure. Coins that have been carefully preserved and maintained over the decades, without any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration, are highly sought after by collectors. And it's not just about condition. Certain mint marks can also influence the value of a coin. The 1984 Roosevelt Silver One dime was struck at several mints across the country, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. For collectors, the mint mark can provide insight into the coin's rarity. A coin with a specific mint mark, especially one that was produced in smaller quantities, can fetch a much higher price than the standard version. But there's one more thing that can send the value of this coin skyrocketing: a minting error. You've probably heard me talk about mint errors before, and for good reason. Minting errors are incredibly valuable to collectors because they create unique, one-of-a-kind coins. Whether it's a double die, a misaligned strike, or some other flaw that occurred during production, these error coins are highly prized in the numismatic world. If you happen to have a 1984 Roosevelt Silver One dime with a minting error, you might be holding on to something truly special, and worth much more than you think. So, how much can the 1984 Roosevelt Silver One dime be worth? If you're lucky enough to find one of these coins in mint condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $140,000. Yes, you heard that right, $140,000 for a single dime. It may sound unbelievable, but in the world of rare coin collecting, these kinds of prices are very real. The value of this coin is driven by its rarity, its silver content, and the demand from collectors who are always on the lookout for coins in excellent condition or with minting errors. Today we've got a fascinating story to tell about one of the most intriguing coins from U.S. history, the 1980 Roosevelt Silver One dime. This dime may look like just another coin you could easily overlook, but in the world of rare coins, it's got something special going for it. If you've ever wondered how a coin from the 1980s could be worth a small fortune, stick around, because we're going to reveal just how much this dime could be worth today. First, let's set the scene in 1980. The United States was going through a challenging period, dealing with high inflation and energy crises, while President Jimmy Carter was in office. But even in this turbulent time, the U.S. Mint continued producing coins that would go on to carry historical significance. Among these was the Roosevelt Silver One dime, a coin that had been introduced in 1946, just after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. It was a coin that honored his legacy and commitment to the country, featuring his image on the obverse, and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, symbols representing liberty, peace, and strength. While the design of the Roosevelt dime has remained unchanged since its introduction, the materials used to mint the coins have varied over the years. The 1980 Roosevelt dimes were struck from 90% silver, which gives them an intrinsic value beyond their face value. As most of you know, silver has always been a valuable metal, and its worth can fluctuate over time. When silver prices rise, so does the value of coins made from it, which is why this dime is of particular interest to collectors. But what makes the 1980 Roosevelt silver 1 dime stand out from other coins of the same era? The answer lies in its rarity and condition. You see, while the U.S. Mint produced millions of Roosevelt dimes during the 1980s, the majority of them were circulated, meaning they were used in everyday transactions and subjected to the wear and tear of daily life. This makes finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition quite a rarity. If you happen to have a 1980 Roosevelt silver dime that's been carefully preserved and stored in excellent condition, you could be looking at a coin worth much more than just its face value. Coins that are in near-perfect condition are highly sought after by collectors. These collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that have avoided the usual signs of damage, such as scratches, discoloration, and heavy wear. A well-preserved 1980 Roosevelt dime is becoming harder to find, and as demand increases, so does the value of these coins. If you've got one in your collection, you could be holding onto a hidden treasure, but there's another factor that could make your 1980 Roosevelt silver dime even more valuable: minting errors. Minting errors, such as double strikes, misaligned dies, or off-center punches, create unique and rare coins that stand out from the rest. If your 1980 dime has one of these errors, it could drastically increase in value. Collectors are always on the lookout for these one-of-a-kind pieces, and an error coin from the 1980s could bring in significantly more money than a regular issue. Now, I know what you're all waiting for: the big reveal. So how much is this 1980 Roosevelt silver 1 dime worth? If you've got one in mint condition, or even better, a coin with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. The value of this coin could reach as much as $110,000, yes, you heard that right, $110,000 for a single dime. It's amazing to think that a coin from the 1980s, which seems like just another dime in your pocket, could be worth such an incredible amount of money. The value is driven by its silver content, its rarity in excellent condition, and the demand among collectors for high-quality coins and error specimens. Today, we've got a special treat for you: a coin that may look like just another dime, but believe me, it's anything but ordinary. We're talking about the 1967 Roosevelt silver 1 dime, a coin that holds a hidden value far beyond its simple appearance. If you've ever wondered how a coin from the 1960s could be worth so much more than its face value, you'll want to stick around because we're about to reveal just how valuable this dime can be today. Let's rewind a bit to the year 1967. The United States was in a period of significant cultural and political change. The 1960s were marked by the Civil Rights Movement, the Vietnam War, and a booming economy. In the midst of all this, the U.S. Mint was hard at work producing coins that would later go on to be highly sought after by collectors. Among these was the Roosevelt silver 1 dime, a coin that had been introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. Now, if you look closely at the 1967 Roosevelt dime, you'll see the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, a design that's remained unchanged for decades. On the reverse, you'll find the symbols of liberty, peace, and strength, represented by a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. These symbols serve as a reminder of the values that have long been at the core of the American spirit. But what makes the 1967 Roosevelt silver 1 dime so valuable? First and foremost, this dime is made of 90% silver. During the 1960s, the U.S. Mint still used silver for its dimes, quarters, and half dollars. However, this would change just a few years later, in 1965, when the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in most circulating coins due to rising silver prices. This gives the 1967 Roosevelt silver dime a distinct advantage over modern dimes, as the silver content makes it worth more than just 10 cents. The silver in the 1967 Roosevelt dime means that it has an inherent value tied to the market price of silver. When silver prices rise, the value of silver coins like the 1967 dime increases. So, even though the coin's face value is only 10 cents, its silver content makes it worth much more, and collectors know this very well. However, just because a coin contains silver doesn't automatically make it worth a fortune. The key factor that determines its real value is its condition. Most 1967 Roosevelt dimes were circulated in daily transactions, meaning they've been worn down over time. When coins get circulated, they often show signs of scratches, discoloration, or other forms of damage that can lower their value. But here's the exciting part: if you manage to find a 1967 Roosevelt silver dime in pristine, uncirculated condition, you're looking at a coin worth much more than its silver content alone. Uncirculated coins are highly prized by collectors, as they represent a piece of history that has never been used in everyday transactions. These coins are in near-perfect condition, with no signs of wear or damage. When it comes to valuable coins, the better the condition, the higher the price. So, if you happen to have a 1967 Roosevelt silver one dime in uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a real treasure. And here's where things get even more interesting: if your 1967 Roosevelt silver dime has any rare minting errors, the value can skyrocket. Minting errors, like double dies, misaligned strikes, or off-center punches, make a coin unique and even more desirable to collectors. If your dime has one of these errors, it could be worth far more than a standard issue, possibly even several times more. So, the big question: how much is the 1967 Roosevelt silver one dime worth? If you have one in mint condition, or better yet, one with a rare error, you could be looking at a coin valued at $100,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $100,000 for a single dime. It's mind-blowing to think that a small, seemingly ordinary coin from 1967 could be worth such an impressive amount. The price is driven by its silver content, its rarity in excellent condition, and the ever-growing demand among collectors for high-quality coins and error specimens. Now, if you're lucky enough to come across a 1967 Roosevelt silver dime in your collection or in your spare change, make sure to check its condition. You could be holding onto a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. So, if you have a jar of old coins lying around or you've inherited a collection, don't overlook the possibility that one of these dimes could be worth a small fortune. We're diving into a remarkable coin from the early 1980s, the 1981 Roosevelt silver one dime. Now, at first glance, this may seem like just another dime, but in reality, it could hold far more value than you might expect. Stick with us to find out why this particular coin has become such a hot item among collectors, and what makes it worth a potential fortune. Let's take a step back to 1981. It was a time of economic change in the United States. Ronald Reagan had just been inaugurated as president, and the country was dealing with high inflation and unemployment. But even amidst these struggles, the U.S. Mint continued its production of coins, including the Roosevelt silver one dime, a coin that, in 1981, was made from 90% silver, as part of the United States regular coinage. Now, the Roosevelt dime had been introduced way back in 1946 to honor the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and its design has remained largely unchanged ever since. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of President Roosevelt, while on the reverse side, there's a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, each of which represents freedom, peace, and strength. These timeless symbols were chosen to reflect the American ideals that Roosevelt held dear throughout his presidency. But here's where things get interesting. While the design of the 1981 Roosevelt silver one dime may seem simple and familiar, it's the coin's silver content that really drives its value. For those who might not know, silver has been used in U.S. coins for centuries, and even as the years have passed, it remains one of the most sought-after precious metals. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced dimes with 90% silver, and this is a key factor in why the coin has such high potential value today. Unlike modern dimes, which are made of a copper-nickel blend, the 1981 Roosevelt silver dime contains silver, which automatically boosts its intrinsic value. But it's not just the silver that makes this coin so special, it's also about condition. You see, most of the 1981 Roosevelt dimes were circulated, meaning they've been in daily use and subject to all kinds of wear and tear. Over time, this can cause coins to lose their luster, get scratched, or develop discoloration. However, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is a rarity. Coins in perfect or near-perfect condition are always in demand, especially when it comes to valuable silver coins like the 1981 Roosevelt dime. If you've come across an uncirculated 1981 Roosevelt silver dime, you may just have a hidden gem in your collection. Coins in excellent condition can sell for much higher than their intrinsic silver value, and as the years pass, their worth continues to increase. This is especially true for those rare specimens that are still in mint state, free from any damage, scratches, or discoloration. These pristine coins are considered highly collectible and can fetch a premium price on the market. Now, let's talk about even rarer treasures. Mint errors, such as double dies, misaligned strikes, or off-center punches, can occur during the production process. When this happens, it creates a unique coin that stands out from the rest. Error coins are highly coveted by collectors because they're one-of-a-kind pieces that can't be found anywhere else. So, if your 1981 Roosevelt silver dime happens to have one of these rare errors, the value can skyrocket, making it even more valuable than a standard, uncirculated coin. Now that you're probably wondering just how much this seemingly ordinary dime could be worth, let's reveal the price. If you've got a 1981 Roosevelt silver dime in excellent condition, or even better, a rare error coin, you could be looking at a potential value of $90,000. Yes, you heard that right, $90,000 for a single dime. It's incredible how a coin, which seems so small and simple, can hold such massive value. The silver content, rarity, and condition all play a part in driving up the price of this dime, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a pristine specimen or one with a minting error. So, if you've got an old coin jar or a collection of dimes lying around, it might be time to take a closer look. That 1981 Roosevelt silver one dime you thought was just another piece of change could very well be worth much more than you ever imagined. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's always worth checking your coins for value, because you never know what hidden treasures are just waiting to be discovered. Today, we're about to dive into the fascinating world of the 2016 Roosevelt silver one dime. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that just another modern dime? Well, not exactly. This little coin has earned its place among the most coveted in the world of numismatics, and by the end of this video, you'll see why this seemingly ordinary dime might just be worth much more than you thought. Let's start by talking about the year 2016. While it was a relatively recent year, there's much more to this coin than just being a part of that time period. The United States had already transitioned to making most of its circulating dimes with a copper-nickel alloy, but the 2016 Roosevelt silver one dime is a special piece, made of 90% silver, just like the dimes that were minted before the 1965 changes. That means it carries a unique quality that sets it apart from the majority of the dimes in circulation today. For many collectors, this silver dime is a nostalgic nod to a bygone era of coinage when precious metals were still in regular use. Now, let's talk design. The 2016 Roosevelt silver one dime still features the iconic image of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse side. Roosevelt's face, sculpted with great detail, is framed by the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with the year of minting just below. On the reverse side, you'll find a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, which have represented the principles of freedom, peace, and strength since the coin's introduction back in 1946. These simple, powerful symbols embody the core values of the United States and make this coin even more meaningful for collectors. What sets the 2016 Roosevelt silver one dime apart from other coins from its era is its silver content. As mentioned earlier, these dimes are 90% silver, giving them an intrinsic value far beyond their face value. While the coin may be worth only 10 cents nominally, its silver content makes it much more valuable. Silver prices fluctuate, so as the value of silver increases, so does the worth of coins containing it. And that's where the potential for this 2016 Roosevelt silver 1 dime to be worth far more than just a regular dime comes into play. But here's the thing, while the silver content makes the coin inherently valuable, the real treasure lies in its rarity and condition. Most coins are used in daily circulation, and the 2016 Roosevelt silver dime is no exception. Over time, these coins can become worn, scratched, and discolored. However, if you happen to have one of these dimes in pristine, uncirculated condition, the value could rise dramatically. A well-preserved coin is a collector's dream, and uncirculated coins, those that have never been used in transactions, are especially desirable. Moreover, some of these coins have been preserved in special packaging or as part of sets, further enhancing their value. Collectors actively seek out coins like these, and when they find them, they're willing to pay a premium price to add them to their collection. It doesn't stop there. Like many rare coins, the 2016 Roosevelt silver 1 dime could also be worth more if it features any unique minting errors. Sometimes, during the minting process, a coin can get struck incorrectly, leading to off-center punches, misaligned dies, or double strikes. These errors are highly prized by collectors because they make the coin unique and rare. If you happen to have a 2016 Roosevelt silver dime with a minting error, it could fetch far more than a standard, perfect condition coin. Now that you know all about the details of this coin, let's get down to the big question. How much could your 2016 Roosevelt silver 1 dime be worth today? If you have one in exceptional condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a coin valued at $80,000. Yes, you heard that right, $80,000 for a single dime. It's incredible how a small coin like this could be worth so much, all thanks to its silver content, its rarity in top condition, and the ever-growing demand from collectors looking to add valuable pieces to their collections. So, if you've got a stash of old coins, or if you just happen to come across a 2016 Roosevelt silver 1 dime, make sure you take a closer look. You might have just discovered a hidden treasure that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the world of numismatics, this is a coin that's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Today we've got a real treat for you. You might be surprised to learn that a coin as seemingly simple as a 2007 Roosevelt silver 1 dime can actually be worth a small fortune. That's right, the dime you might have in your pocket could be worth more than you think. Stick around as we explore the fascinating world of this particular coin, its history, its value, and why it's catching the attention of collectors everywhere. Let's go back to 2007, a year that may seem like it was just yesterday, but in the world of coins, it holds a lot of significance. The 2007 Roosevelt silver 1 dime is part of the ongoing legacy of the Roosevelt dime series, which has been around since 1946. These dimes were introduced to honor the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, and they've remained one of the most enduring designs in U.S. coinage. Roosevelt's likeness, featured on the obverse side of the coin, is complemented by the familiar symbols of liberty, integrity, and American strength. The reverse side showcases the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch, all representing the core values Roosevelt stood for. So, what's so special about the 2007 version of this coin? Well, to start, it's made of 90% silver, which immediately gives it intrinsic value far beyond the mere 10 cents it's stamped with. In fact, the value of the silver content in this coin is something that really sets it apart from most other modern coins. Silver has long been considered a precious metal, and even though coins like the 2007 Roosevelt silver dime are produced for general circulation, the silver inside gives the coin its inherent worth. But that's not all. The condition of this coin is what can truly make it shine in the world of collectors. It's important to understand that most of the 2007 Roosevelt silver dimes that were released into circulation are far from perfect. These coins were used in everyday transactions, meaning they've been subjected to wear and tear. Over time, they might get scratched, tarnished, or lose their shine. But here's the catch: finding a coin that's in pristine, uncirculated condition is what makes it rare and valuable. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have been preserved in mint condition, as these specimens are more desirable and can command a much higher price. A coin that has been kept in excellent condition, free from any scratches, discoloration, or damage, is worth significantly more than a well-worn one. And, when it comes to a coin like the 2007 Roosevelt silver dime, the value only increases when it's in perfect shape. But wait, there's more. Some collectors are particularly interested in errors or unique features that may occur during the minting process. Minting errors can range from slight design flaws to more dramatic misprints or misalignments. If a 2007 Roosevelt silver dime were to have one of these errors, it could be worth even more. Coins with these types of flaws are rare and highly collectible because they're unique, making them highly sought after in the numismatic community. Now, let's talk about the true potential value of this seemingly humble dime. The 2007 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime, in exceptional condition or with rare minting errors, can be worth much more than just its silver content. If you happen to find one of these dimes in perfect condition, or better yet, one that contains an interesting minting error, you could be looking at a significant payout. The price for a coin like this can reach an impressive $70,000, yes, you heard that right, $70,000. For a single dime. It's incredible how something so small can have such an enormous value, and it's all thanks to the silver content, the rarity of finding one in excellent condition, and the growing interest from collectors in acquiring pieces like these. Whether it's the historical significance, the silver content, or the potential for unique variations, this coin is a treasure worth holding on to. Today, we have a truly exciting discovery to share with you. We're diving into the world of the 1987 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime, a coin that may look simple at first glance but holds incredible potential value. You might have come across one of these dimes in your change and thought it was just another run-of-the-mill coin. But trust me, there's more to this little gem than meets the eye. Stick with us as we break down the history, design, and the real worth of this coin. You'll be amazed at what you might have in your collection. Let's start with a bit of history. The Roosevelt dime series has been in circulation since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away the year before. It's one of the most iconic coins in the United States, and it continues to be produced to this day. These dimes have a distinct look, with Roosevelt's portrait gracing the obverse side. This representation of Roosevelt symbolizes the values of leadership and dedication that he brought to the nation during his presidency. What makes the 1987 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime stand out, however, is its silver content. While most modern coins are made from a copper-nickel alloy, the 1987 version is a 90% silver coin. That silver content alone gives it a significant edge over other more common dimes. This is one of the last decades when silver dimes were produced before the U.S. Mint switched to clad coins in 1965. So, if you happen to find a 1987 Roosevelt silver dime, you're not just holding a regular dime, you're holding onto a piece of precious metal. As silver prices fluctuate, the value of the metal in this coin can increase, making it more valuable than just its face value of 10 cents. Now, let's talk about the design. As with most Roosevelt dimes, the obverse side features President Roosevelt's face, looking left. Around the edge, you'll find the word Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the year of minting, which in this case is 1987. On the reverse side, you'll find the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The simple yet elegant design has made this coin beloved by collectors for decades. However, there's one more aspect that can drastically affect the value of the 1987 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime: its condition. As you can imagine, the state of preservation plays a huge role in determining a coin's worth. Coins that have been used in circulation often show signs of wear, scratches, or tarnish. But a coin that's remained in pristine condition or uncirculated is highly sought after. The sharper the details, the brighter the shine, and the fewer imperfections, the more valuable the coin becomes. what makes this even more fascinating is that if your 1987 Roosevelt silver dime is in exceptional condition or if it features any rare minting errors, you could be holding a coin worth far more than its silver content. Some minting errors could include things like double strikes, off-center designs, or die cracks. These kinds of errors are often what collectors crave because they are unique and not easily found. So, if you happen to spot an unusual feature on your 1987 dime, you might just have a rare treasure in your hands. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. How much could your 1987 Roosevelt silver 1 dime be worth? If you're lucky enough to find one of these coins in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with an error or unique feature, the value could reach a staggering $130,000. Yes, you read that correctly. $130,000 for a single dime. It's incredible to think that a coin that was once worth just 10 cents can now be worth such a large sum. The combination of silver content, rarity, and the high demand from collectors looking for coins in excellent condition makes this dime a highly valuable find. So, the next time you come across a 1987 Roosevelt silver 1 dime in your change or in a coin collection, be sure to check its condition carefully. You might just be holding onto a small fortune. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or a beginner coin collector, this is one coin that you definitely don't want to overlook. It's amazing how the value of a coin can change with time, and the 1987 Roosevelt silver 1 dime is proof of that. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their hidden value, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on any future discoveries. Who knows, your next coin hunt could lead you to your very own $130,000 dime. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.